Hey, what's up guys? So today I wanted to talk about Seafoam and should you or should you not do it. For those of you who don't know what Seafoam is, it's pretty much a fuel injector cleaner, pretty much engine degreaser. In a way it's an engine degreaser. It's mainly a carbon cleaner. Ooh, it's a nice GTR. Sorry. But it's pretty much a carbon cleaner. So what it does is you put it inside the motor. General idea is you put it inside the motor, whether it's through the intake into your oil reservoir or into your gas tank. And what it'll do is generally it'll clean out all the toxins and all the bad carbon dioxide, and it'll just clean the motor up from carbon buildup. And what it'll do is it'll essentially make older cars, you know how they tend to get a lot of carbon and they don't perform as well as they used to. What it'll do is it'll clean it and it'll pretty much bring the rest of the engine back to life, or the rest of the performance specs back to life. What it'll do is it's motor friendly generally if you don't put too much. It's generally motor friendly if you know what you're doing. It's very simple, very easy. For the gas, you just literally dump it in your gas tank. As soon as you fill it up, you dump it in, and you're pretty much good to go. You dump in 1 can, and you're good to go. For your intake, that depends on your motor. Let's say you're a 4-cylinder, you're going to want to go maybe half the can, and then you can dump the rest in your gas tank as well, or put some of it in your oil, which I don't generally do that one. That one's a very scary one to do, but some people do it. But what you can do is you put half of it in your intake, and pretty much what it'll do is it'll clean it, half of it in the intake, either through vacuum hose or through a spray nozzle through the intake itself. It'll go in that way too. There's a couple of different ways that it'll go, but I'd recommend looking at some how-to videos on how to do it, how much you should put in and stuff like that. Generally you can put it in that way. You can put it through the vacuum line, or what you can do if you really want to clean your oil reservoir out, I would generally recommend probably not doing the oil, only because it's known to thin out the oil and that's what damages the motor. I would recommend not doing that. I'd read up on that first if you really want to go that route too. What you can do is put it in the intake, either through vacuum line or through the actual intake itself, spray nozzle. That works as well. And what it'll do is, as the motor is running and as you're putting it in, it'll generally clean it out. And once you put in the recommended amount, you shut off the motor for about 10 15 minutes. And after 10-15 minutes, you start it up and the car's going to run really rough. But that's normal. That's because the Seafoam is in there. It's cleaning all the carbon dioxides. That's only if you do it through the intake. Through the gas, you can put it in the gas tank and it'll feel just fine, just normal. And it'll clean it out that way. You don't have to do anything. It's not gonna change any difference or anything like that. So, but if you're doing it through the intake, it'll feel really rough. You're gonna get a lot of clouds of smoke, which is normal. And it's just pretty much gonna clean its job. The reason why you should do that is because it'll increase the engine life, because there's less carbon buildup, there's less to fight through to just get the same exact performance. And it's just overall easier on the engine, especially since it's getting older. Things are more fragile and just stuff like that. General maintenance. A lot of people don't do it. There's different types of fuel cleaners, but honestly, Seafoam has been the most harmful too if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do, generally go for that. I will, after this video, I will show you what type of smoke it's going to look like. Generally, my car's fairly clean, so it's going to get a lot of white smoke. But for what it is, it's fairly clean for 130,000 miles. But if you guys want to see it, just stick around to the end of the video. I'll show how that looks. I'll also put a separate video to that in case you guys don't want to stick around and you just want to see how it is. I'll put a separate video to it. So if you guys like this video, please like it, rate it, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Seafoam cloud test.